Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. Today we're going to show off two artifacts in the collection from the ship's 1980s commissioning that they're kind of standard, but they're interesting because of typos. And it's not really a typo per se, but that's where the interesting story comes from. So first off, we've got this sign right here. We've got two of these in the collection actually, so there must have been several of these made, and they probably hung around the Long Beach Naval Shipyard. Actually, I've seen another sign, this exact same color scheme, this exact same size, but with different information on it. So I suspect there was a printer there on base, or one that they pretty frequently used at Long Beach, where they would have just made these signs up. So this one is cool because it would have likely hung around base so that the shipyard workers working on it knew all of the deadlines for getting the ship reactivated so that they could all work together to meet those deadlines. And they did such a good job that they accomplished their task ahead of the deadlines and under budget. Our next artifact is this Zippo lighter. Again, very standard. These would have been sold in the ship's store when the ship was in service. You can find Zippos from just about any ship that was ever commissioned in the modern age, at least. And for New Jersey, we know that they had these throughout several of her commissionings, and they each have different crests on them. This one specifically says, to commemorate the recommissioning of Battleship New Jersey, and it was likely a gift to all of the plank owners on board the ship, and they probably sold them as well to like folks who attended the commissioning ceremony, things like that, and all that money goes into the welfare and morale fund for the crew to spend later on fun stuff, like the weight room or the televisions in the berthing compartments, things like that. So, what is the typo on both of these? It both list the commissioning date as January 15th, 1983. But New Jersey was commissioned on December 28th, 1982. Things like this that's printed ahead of time, it lists what the milestones are supposed to be. Obviously, they exceeded some of these milestones. You can't take this as gospel that these various things happened on each of the dates. There's a strong chance that any of these other things, I haven't gone through and looked at all of them yet, happened on the right time. Some of them could have happened early, some of them could have happened late. That's just something they were shooting for. The lighters, on the other hand, these are a long lead time item. Zippo had to engrave at least 2,000 of these, so they couldn't do it between when they were supposed to deliver the ship on December 17th and when they found out that they were going to commission her earlier on December 28th. So they only finished, 2-3 weeks early? Why did they move everything ahead? Not only are all the dates on all this stuff that they printed wrong, but now they have to resend the invitations and make sure that their brass and all these other officials are able to reschedule to be at the ceremony on time. The reason they did it is because she's being recommissioned at Long Beach Shipyard in California. Just so happens that President Reagan, who was a huge advocate for the Battleship program, was in town in 1982 to celebrate Christmas with his family. He was not still going to be in town on January 15th. So they moved the whole service forward, since they'd gotten the work done already, so that he could participate. President Ronald Reagan recommissioning New Jersey in 1982 was the only time in American history that a sitting president commissioned a battleship.
Secretary Lehman, I thank you, Captain Fogarty, the officers and members of the crew, the other distinguished guests. Secretary of Defense Weinberger would be here, but with all of us here, he felt that someone had to stay in Washington and mind the store. She's gray, she's had her face lifted, but she's still in the prime of life, a gallant lady, the New Jersey.
So it was kind of a big deal that they moved the date around to accommodate him. He wasn't able to make the commissionings of any of the other ships, and no other sitting president was able to make the commissionings of any American battleships. This makes these artifacts much cooler, I feel, than if it's just another lighter and just another shipyard poster. And it also is a cautionary tale for historians. You have to be careful of primary documents like this. Just because it's a primary document does not mean that the dates are correct. In the future, we're going to go through this poster in a little bit more detail and talk about the various steps here. Probably pair that with our dry docking discussion and talk about the various steps that we're going to go through to dry dock the ship, because some of them parallel things that are happening here, and some of them do not. But we'll look at if all of these dates match up until the January thing, or if they were consistently ahead of schedule with New Jersey. It's amazing because Long Beach finishes New Jersey ahead of schedule. Pascagoula is way behind schedule reactivating Iowa. And that's why the Battleship New Jersey gets stuck in the Mediterranean off the coast of Lebanon for so long, because Iowa was not ready to come out and relieve her as planned. Do you guys collect Zippo lighters? Do you have any ship Zippos? Let us know in the comment section down below. This one's cool because if it belonged to a boiler technician, it might have been used to light off one of the boilers. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to donate to support the museum and our channel. You can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find out about us. Thanks for watching.